friends. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Second day in a row with an on-time start. New year, new easy, though it's not the new year. There's speculation among the chatters, the early chatters, that I must have still have a problem with my cell phone. Thus the appropriate start time of 10 a.m. Eastern, which is ridiculous and hilarious. That, he can start on time when he doesn't have his phone to stare at and waste all his time. But that's 100% true, that I waste an incredible amount of time messing around with the stupid phone. However, it took the catastrophe of the phone breakdown to make me realize how much of my time that I actually do waste on it, and thus the normal start time of 10 a.m. on the first show of this week. And then all I did was kind of like replicated that, because I actually do have the phone. It's working again. But I'm like, okay, now all I need to do is not be so addicted to it where I have to constantly grab it. Have it in my hand so I can doom scroll and look at the latest mommy talk recipe videos that I keep forwarding all these amazing recipes as I continue to fight the battle of the bulge. And that's going still very well. I've got a lot of thoughts running through my head that I can't wait to share with you. But that is first and foremost the idea that I was so damn addicted to the phone. The amount of wasted time is unprecedented. It's an absolute time suck. And I have to just keep it out of my hands. Very difficult to do when dick-faced Joe Martinez is harassing me all morning long about the Lions. This guy is so stupid, it's comical. This is how Joe Martinez operates. Out of the blue, I'll get, see, I told you, Lions will be 10-7, senor. Losing record for sure. Missy playoffs. Ay, ay, ay. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Losing record. They will be 10-7. Losing record. I go, are you that dumb? How is it that people trust you to keep their furnaces from leaking carbon monoxide when you're so intensely stupid that you're not aware that 10-7 is in fact a winning record? That's a good record. I would be happy if they were 10-7. That's not a bad thing. Yeah, but they were 15-2 last year, so 10-7 is losing record, senor. Ay, ay, ay. I'm like, go fuck yourself, you fucking idiot. I told you. Joe is, I told you guy. He has to let everybody know. I told you. I was right. Shut up, bitch. My God. So annoying. Just an absolute dipshit. So he was blowing up my fucking phone today. That was terrible. Becca Shea says he has a lot of nerve. U of M got their asses kicked by Ohio State. Yeah, he doesn't, he rolls with it his best. He deflects. I tell him how stupid he is. And that, hey, yeah, Ohio State beat your ass in every aspect of the game. No, senor. He tries to argue his way out of it. Anyway, enough about him. He's a moron. I will say this. The Lions are decimated with terrible injuries again. they've, you could just look it up on your own and see who they're missing. But Big Buddha 001 says the algorithms definitely work. They hook me every day. I would be curious to know how many minutes per day the average American spends on the internet outside of email and work stuff. Yeah, if I just keep it out of my hands, that phone, I can get so much more done. That's what I need to do. And then use it as like a reward for getting things accomplished, as opposed to, there are times when I'll go to let the dogs out to go to the bathroom, and I'm looking at my phone, and then I vanish. My brain disappears as to whatever it is, into whatever it is that I'm looking at. And then I go, wait a minute, where are the dogs? Wait a minute, which ones have I let back in? And I'm like, and I have to like make an accounting. And I'm like, I don't even remember opening the door and letting them back into the house. It's that bad. Bread Bull Brain Chris says Bloody Molly is back. Now that's not true. There's no blood involved, but we kind of stumbled upon that nickname. But I can't say for sure that that's a great nickname, so I don't know if I'm going to stick with that one. That might have just been a one-off thing, but still hilarious. Welcome to you. Molly had an outstanding show yesterday and garnering a lot of attention with voicing the displeasure on the subject matter, Bread Bull Brain Chris says, I like it. It's like a pirate name. Bloody Molly. All right. So there we go. Now, I do want to get into the great food giveaway because I have heard now, and I have a dollar amount to go along with our goal for the great food giveaway, an exact dollar amount. Pardon me, glasses. Could I look any more old these days? Before I get to that, I need to focus on this area right here in my face because I'm 100% convinced that I am going to look like Droopy Dog. Like I was already aging dramatically the past several months/years. But my face was more full 10 days ago. And I continually each day am eating 500 to 1,000 calories less than what I need, which is Jeremy K. So what's happening is each day I'm losing a little bit of weight, and I will average 1 to 2 pounds a week. So I'm probably 2, 3, 4 pounds less than I was when I started this. And I can already sense that from my nose, actually the top of my lips up, I'm losing fat, but the rest of the skin is kind of like starting to hang off now. It's going to make me look like such an asshole because when I'm fatter, it fills your face out. So it's quite possible that if I am successful in losing this weight, I will look like a 95-year-old man. And that's going to be hysterical. And I'm not doing anything about it. I'm just letting it go. There's nothing I can do about that. I had achieved such maximum fat in my face that though round and bulbous, it was smooth skin. It's going to hang down here, and I'm going to have the biggest nussy ever right in this zone. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Badger says your nose will look bigger. Absolutely. So pay attention to the transformation into full gargoyle face. Now, I'm hopeful, though, that the fat under my chin will fade away and that I can at least establish some degree of a jawline. Piano Finger Banger says you need Kybella. I don't know what that is. Badger says you need Botox. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I am zero interest in any of that. I would rather age gracefully and just look like shit than to put Botox in my face. Ultimately, I'm the appearance thing is less on my concern list. I'm more interested in saving myself from getting diabetes with the one kidney. It would be a death sentence. And so, but I am full on in great momentum over this because, and just by keeping track of the calories, it's working and to an outstanding level, and I'm very, very pleased with the results so far. I feel excellent, though I did take a nap yesterday. I felt a little tired. I didn't sleep that well the night before. I had been bragging about having so much energy, but I definitely, if I feel the need, will crash. Rich says, ask Freebeer how Botox is working out for him. There have been numerous people that, hey, Molly, I'm sorry, I'm mentioning Freebeer. There have been numerous people that have suggested that our pal Freebeer is getting Botox because the idea is that his the forehead looks very, very smooth. I guess that's a telltale sign. I don't know. I couldn't speak to that, so whatever you say. All I know is that last time I saw Michelle McCormick, she said to me, she goes, EZ, are you doing Botox? Your forehead, there's no wrinkles in it. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And she goes, come on. I go, no, it's the fat. It's the fat talking. That's what's happened. Becca Shea says you need to do neck yoga. I don't want you to have a vagina on your neck like Trump. Neck yoga? What? I've heard of yoga. I've done yoga. Boy, I'd be anxious to see what takes place in neck yoga. She says, look it up. Corey's here. I haven't heard from Corey in Maine in quite some time. He says that neck yoga is not a thing. Well, I don't think she'd lie. Neck yoga video. There's 5-minute yoga for neck pain and tension, 10-minute neck and shoulder yoga release. All right, yeah, I don't know. I think that's more for like if you have stiffness. I don't know if that's necessarily going to help the droopy dog hanging skin off of my face, but maybe. Becca Shea says maybe it's under facial yoga. I think Becca Shea might need to research this one more. Badger says get one of those infrared masks. All right. Michelle is just jealous. Jealous, Chris says. All right, so getting back to where I was, my brain is, of course, going in 15 directions as usual, but here's what's going on with the Great Food Giveaway. To pay for 225 hams, 225 bags of 5-pound bags of potatoes, 450 gravy packets, 450 cans of corn, 225 bags of containers, of rolls, and 225 pumpkin pies. The grand total is $5,577.75 needed. That goes with the 89 cents a pound average for a 10-pound ham. So that gives us a clear, defined look at the dollar amount that we need. We are just north of $3,400 in our coffers right now for the Great Food Giveaway. Apparently, pies might be cheaper if they are on sale. And thank you to Robin over at the Standale Meyer for checking in and coordinating with our pal Mike Ball. So that is cool. $5,577.75. Now, in the last 24 hours, we did get one donation. It was a $5, which I've talked about how important those are. If every member of the audience who is listening could just drop $5 in our virtual hat, we would be able to knock this out quite quickly. And I'm starting to get more people do just that, So unless, of course, you're cash heavy or you're like, I just want to help out, that's totally up to you. I don't get too aggressive on any of this because, in my opinion, it just gets weird. And for year number 6, the first 5 have been nothing but outstanding with support. So I and Megan and all the volunteers salute you all. Thank you so much. I'm putting in the chat of the video live stream the way that we are passing the virtual hat. Venmo at Eric-Zaitunian. Cash App, $ Eric Zaitunian. PayPal, search Eric Zane Show, LLC. All of these bits of information are in the show notes of the audio podcast in case you're not with us as we do it live. Thank you. I'm going over the tote board now of the people that are participating. And let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I should have had this ready. I'm sorry. 24, 27, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. We have 44 participants so far have raised over $3,400. I would like to see 100 donations. Thank you to Julie C., Chris and Kristen in Buffalo, Rebecca K., who actually has done this twice, Matt B., Chris B., Frank S., Alan M., Arena Nick, Spooky Tyler, Don O., MAGA Pat, Tim Zappa, Teresa F., Rebecca A., Lynn B., Murder Lover Linda twice, Adam S., Sarah R., Aaron S., Aaron's mother-in-law, Jess C., Robert D., Kuipers, Donovan S., thank you, Rebecca, Laura, Stevie, Amy, Black Belt Nick, Megan, Maureen, Linda, Daniel, Ben, Becca Shea, Donut Dan, Nikki in Portland, Maine, Josh, Robert D., Deb V., Derek D., Terry F., Joshua D., Rob T. Thank you. Alan says, this is a good village. I don't like getting overly dramatic like our boy Free Beer. there. This is a good village. Fucking idiot. Corny asshole. Anyway. Great job there, folks. So that's what's up. We are now 21 days away from Great Food Giveaway number 6. $225. Thank you to Brian for he's as we speak throwing money into our virtual hat. Appreciate you so much. You were very kind. I just got the notification. How sweet of you. All right. Bread Bull Brain Chris says, I'm just heavy without the cash. Thank you to Skip, who's here. He says, morning, everyone. Out of respect to EZ and all of you sweet people, I won't be joining you in the chat anymore. You all have been great. Why? What happened? The fuck is going on? You're not going to jail, are you? I don't like this. The last thing I want to hear is about audience members that cannot enjoy the show in the live format via Twitch. We also this has to be explained here. Now, Maureen and Linda have already contributed quite a bit of cash, and they just had a tremendous loss in their family. Maureen and Linda's brother, Paul, passed, and they are mourning Paul. And so I kind of expected the gals to maybe be checked out for a little bit while they help put all the things going on in their lives to help those in the family. But Maureen is here, and she answered the bell again. And her and Linda just threw another sizable donation. Maureen wrote, in loving memory of my brother, Paul Cook. Thank you to Maureen. That is very sweet of you. And rest in peace to your bro, Paul. I'm sorry that happened. I am so sorry. I mean, my God. And so now a bunch of folks are chiming in and wishing you well wishes as you navigate this. That's tough. That's tough. I always struggle with what to say, but I'm just telling you that we're thinking about you guys. And I don't know. I just hope that you guys find peace. All right, so that's the update with Great Food Giveaway. When I was talking to Mike Ball, I said, all right, so we're getting together for December 23rd, Tuesday. The more the merrier. If you just want to show up at Irvine's Auto Repair, we're going to get there at about 1 to start prepping the boxes full of food and the staging area and all that good stuff. And I said, are you and Smithers coming? And he said, yeah. His son is Smithers. Now, Smithers is going to get the Empire. When Mike is ready to hang up his distribution chaps, Smithers is going to take over, I'm guessing. He will get the Empire. Smithers is his son. And the only reason why I refer to him as Smithers is because my daughter, Jacqueline, said that he reminds me of that guy, that assistant for Mr. Burns on The Simpsons. I go, yeah, that's Smithers. She goes, yeah, that's who he reminds me of, is Smithers. So I dropped that one on Mike Ball, and he found that to be hysterical. I'll be hanging with Mike Ball on Friday because I am announcing the local high school hockey game, Hudsonville. I think they're having like student night or something like that, or some big pep rally. And they wanted the A-team announcer, so they called on your old pal EZ. Ball's kid, Carter, the younger one, I don't think he looks like Smithers, is playing in that game. So I said, all right. So I'll see you Friday. You, Mrs. Ball, and Smithers. This is absolutely. All right. We have a lot of things to get to. One of the things that caught my eye while prepping for today's show is this clip by former tremendous wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr., who I don't think he's playing with the team right now, but all you need to know about this clip is this is Odell Beckham Jr. with one of the most not relatable things spoken ever in humanity. I give you Odell Beckham Jr. on struggling to get by with a $100 million contract. Wow. He was on some show, who knows? And this is that moment.
If I didn't have a dollar in my account right here today as we speak, I'm going to be straight for the rest of my life. No question, right? I don't think everybody is in that. And when you've sacrificed your whole life to get here, and you're like, yeah, I played 10 years in the league. And I always explain this to people, like, bro, you give somebody a 5-year, $100 million contract, right? What is it really? It's 5 years for 60. You're getting taxed. Do the math. That's 12 a year, you know, that you have to spend, use, save, invest, flaunt, like whatever, however, it just.
I would guess all of that money is for flaunt, as he says. I'm guessing that this guy's so stupid that when he means save, he means just stick it in a savings account. And when he invests in, like, you know, an ice cream factory or something like that, or something that ends up going belly up.
Being real, I'm gonna buy a car, I'm gonna give my mama a house, I'm gonna do, everything costs money. So if you spending $4 million a year, that's really $40 million over 5 years, 8 a year, you know? And now
I like all these assholes nodding away like, yeah. There are a number of instances of NFL players who aren't a moron like this guy, who did a great job in saving their money.
You start breaking down the numbers, it's like, that's a 5-year span of where you're getting $8 million. Can you make that last forever? And you always hear the people who ain't us and ain't been in the position, like, oh, well, that would last a lifetime.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is so stupid. Because there are several players, as I was indicating, that live within their means, realize that you've got a short window of earning, probably best to, if you want to have sustainable income for the rest of your life and live a fantastic lifestyle. My God, what planet are you from where you're complaining about earning $100 million a year? I'm sorry, $100 million over 5 years. I can't talk today. That is ridiculous. Tyler says only $60 million, the poor thing. Alan says, what a cock. Bread Bull Brain Chris says probably $100,000 earrings on right now. Yeah, this is an awful look. How about just not flaunt? How about just live within your means? Can you imagine if, because there's stories like this every year of these people who earn hundreds of millions of dollars a year and they just blow it all. It's gone. That is truly tragic. I cannot believe that idiot had the nerve to say that. I can't say it with I wouldn't be able to say it with a straight face. We mentioned earlier that Skip has said he's done. He's not gonna be on the live stream anymore. And there was a question why, and he writes, "I'm often annoying, not to be too deep, but I'm and then it's edited. I don't know what that means. I'm self-conscious. It's cut off. Thanks for the concern. I just so you know, I never thought that. Not for me. I don't think you're annoying. And I don't know why your comment got all censored there. I don't know. Numerous comments coming in being a little less sensitive. Alan says, "Oh, Jesus, here we go." Corey says, "This isn't an airport." Tofus laughs. I don't know. Becca Shea says, "I don't remember him saying anything annoying." Are you kind of caught up in your feels? Is that what's going on? Is that... yeah, you're fine. Just shut up and enjoy the show, you dumb bitch. Tyler says, "I find this annoying, but nothing else comes to mind. LOL." Tovis says, "Big departure. Who gives a fuck, man? We're all really fucked up. Just deal with it." Cole says, "I don't even know who you are." Becca Shea says, "I'm probably more annoying than he is." I don't think anyone in the chat is annoying, for the record. You're all great. Big Buddha live on the island of Misfit Toys with the rest of us. I read something yesterday. I processed it quickly, and I'm like, I cannot wait to talk about this on the podcast. There's one of these, when I'm doom scrolling and looking at my phone, there's oftentimes these short little stories, maybe 60 seconds in length, 30 seconds in length with some animation. And it told the story of a couple of guys landed an airplane like off of an island somewhere. And they got off the plane. It was like a seaplane. And they got off, and there was some islanders that were there that were isolated. They had I just happened to mention yesterday on the show by coincidence the Sentinelese, the Sentinel Islands, but this is not that. But similarly, because these people were cut off from the real world, and they didn't even know what an airplane was. This is many, many decades ago, maybe like shortly after, probably like World War II era or something like that. Anyway, they landed the plane, and the natives are there. They're like, "Hey, unga bunga, what's going on?" And there's language barrier, but the guys on the plane had a bunch of things to give to these people. So they give them all this stuff, whatever, some supplies, sharing things with them that they have never seen before or anything like that. And then they go, "All right, well, hey, thank you. It's been great." And then they take off. And then significant time passes, and then they land again many, many years later. And they discover when they encounter these people again that they have built an altar with, as best as they could, a replica of the plane. And they're like bowing down to go, "Oh, unga bunga." And they think that these two idiots were gods that came down from a magical craft. That's what they had never seen any of this shit. And they were blown away. They're like, oh my God, they think that they were deities. And so this was like the second coming to them. And then I'm like, did this happen? Is this real? And I guess it is. Let's see here. It is known the John Frum, F-R-U-N. The John Frum movement is a religious cult on the island of Tanna in Vanuatu. The only reason why I know Vanuatu is because I used to watch some World War II shit that show the Pacific, and Vanuatu was a place where American troops would stage or maybe fight over the land on Vanuatu. The movement is based on the prophecy of a mysterious figure named John Frum who promised to return with cargo, modern goods like refrigerators, planes, trucks, to enrich the islanders. The cult's rituals mimic American military practices, such as raising the U.S. flag, marching with bamboo rifles, and singing songs about John Frum, in the belief that these actions will hasten his return. It's known as a cargo cult, and still a thing to this day. Wasn't there something in a movie? There was a movie, it was an animated film, and I think it was Toy Story, and they're in the crane game, and all the little toys in the crane game are looking up, and they're worshiping the claw. That's what this is. This actually happened. My God. Movement began after American soldiers arrived on Tanna in the 1940s, introducing new technologies and goods that were seen as cargo from a powerful, benevolent outsider. Islanders believed that a man named John Frum had predicted this arrival and would bring more cargo, leading to a belief in his return. So it started way before this 1940s thing, when the first guy arrived there many decades earlier and said, it's John Frum's coming back. So they've been waiting. And as soon as they see a plane, they're like, oh my God, he's here. They hold weekly gatherings, such as meeting on Friday evenings. The movement has diminished in size, with estimates of members dropping from over $5,000 in the 1990s to around $500 today. Despite internal challenges and the long wait for cargo, followers' beliefs remain strong, as expressed by a village chief who compared their long wait to that of Christians waiting for Jesus' return. My God. I even have images to share with you. Man Bun Chris says, I love the Toy Story reference. Exactly, that's it. Here you go. Here's the natives. All right, I had it. No, I don't. This pic right here, these guys are walking around acting like they're military. It's how they worship. My God. I'm surprised some wacko here in the States hasn't made a pilgrimage to lead these people to be like their overlord. Kind of like your own version of tyrannical fantasy football in real life. Current chat bitch Skip says, it almost seems supportive. Must be my time of the month, LOL, even though no, it absolutely is. Yeah. Go back to bed. Rebecca says, this is a solid group in the chat. We all get it and play well together. And then he apologizes. Whatever. Don't say sorry. Just enjoy the show. It's all you got to do. Have fun. God, I was blown away by that story. Very cool. By the way, I have a workplace staff meeting today with the radio station. Yesterday, didn't have it. It's happening today. Just giving you a warning. Tophus says, yeah, you're having a moment. Fire a Xanax down your throat. You'll be fine. I have some news about Patreon shows. When it comes to this week, today is the end of my not so busy because I didn't have class on Monday, and I've already recorded who are these broadcasters on Friday. I'm sorry, Sunday. So I got that off. But what is going on is Wednesday, Griff's, Thursday, Grand Rapids Gold, Friday, Hudsonville High School, Saturday, Jenison High School hockey. And, well, I generally don't like to do Patreon content on the weekend because that's some time off. And that's also Ben's time off. So what I'm getting at is this week is a wash. I'm punting to next week for any type of big broadcasting like Who Are These Free Beers and the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. And next week also is extremely busy. And we will do a very rare, I think we've done this before. Next week, we'll do a Big Fraud Friday. So we will not have a Big Fraud evening, Who Are These Free Beers, Ben and Eric Patreon podcast till Friday the 12th. My apologies for that. But that's the best I can do for you. I don't like to make it so like there's so much going on that I start to lose my mind. Extremely busy as it is, so my apologies. But next week, Friday, will be our shows on Patreon with Who Are These Free Beers and the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Tophus says he had a moment last year when he lost his shit. Yeah, I don't remember a lot about that. I just remember there was some time Tophus made a crack that when you shoot a gun into the water, that the bullet explodes. And then some people challenged that, and then that led to pissed offedness, which was fantastic. Tyler says it wouldn't be fraudulent if it didn't change days every week. Bread Bull Brain says, what about Big Fraud Book Club? Great question. I have been reading. Go. Probably 100. Get too far on the next book, which is called Girl with a Penis or something like that. Because I'm so far behind. So, yes, it is going to happen. It's just ridiculous right now. Alan says RIP book club. Yeah, I can't agree with that because we're still going to do it. I don't know if you guys are going to go ahead and forget what we're reading with Way of Shadows. I hope not. I hope you haven't forgotten it. But I plan on discussing that, and it's really picking up in pace here. And in the book, there's some really high point moments. By the way, there was a sexually charged moment between Logan and then it was like a 15-year-old. And that was weird. I'm like, what is going on here? Bread Bull Brain Chris says he finished the next book, which is Girl with a Penis. Man Bun Chris referring to Tophus's meltdown. He says, yeah, that wasn't fun. I got called some names on that one, LOL. But being here, you learn to let the bullets bounce off you. I do not recall. I know I didn't do it. Stevie says, I'm almost done with All Boys Aren't Blue. Get with the program. Okay, I get you, and I feel that. However, I think going forward, I am not going to go ahead and announce the next book. Because people are so, I mean, the fact that I'm still working on that book and you guys are now finishing up All Boys Aren't Blue. I mean, my God. Yoda World with the crack. You learn to dive under the water and let the bullets break up. Tova says it was a very bad day, LOL. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so where were we? You know, let me do this. I'm always very, very thankful to the sponsors. And I do have news because for the audience members who, when I said, hey, look, I've got this deal going on at Skydive Grand Haven where you can get a $299 skydiving adventure for $199. Buy now. We will get together and we will skydive together on a date that we decide in the summer. 15 of you answered that call, and I am so very appreciative of that because I was talking with Tony and Hannah over at Skydive Grand Haven, and they're like, yeah, man, rubber met the road on that one. You called it. You hit it out of the park. So I'm like, well, all I did was put the word out, which is what we do, and the audience is fantastic. So thank you to all of you for doing that. And they are over at Skydive Grand Haven. They want to do a Christmas sale too. So I don't have the particulars of that yet, but when I do, I'll let you know. And I'd like to get another 15 in there. And then we're cooking with gas here. Holy shit, that's very, very important, and I'm very appreciative of it, so thank you. Impact Power Sports online at impactpowersportsmi.com. They're the best. You can pick up a Yamaha golf cart. Maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you need a scooter, an e-bike. Maybe you need a motorcycle, a dirt bike, a mini bike. Those are fun. They have it all, side-by-sides, quads at Impact Power Sports. Full service department to service anything that you already might have that needs to be getting some care to it. And you can find out more information at impactpowersportsmi.com. Tyler with a great crack. I can just picture Easy's Nussy flapping in the air while skydiving. Yeah, it's going to blind the guy who's tandem diving with me. David says, with all the time you are saving not staring at your phone, you should have time to read, Easy. Well, I am. I mean, let's be honest here. If I'm not laying in bed, I'm here working. But the problem was if I would touch the phone while I was here, I'd slow down my working. So I see what you're getting at there, and I'm working on that and taking the time. So I don't want it. When I get the extra time, I need to pull myself away from the computer now and trying to build the show more. But I don't know if I'm ready to do that because I like making money. Man Bun Chris says, it would be cool if you ever have time to interview the boss man over there at Skydive Grand Haven. Yes. I told him we're doing that. And he's the dude's a kick in the head. And he goes, yeah, I'll have you interview my daughter. I go, no, I want to interview you. He goes, well, he goes, I stink on the radio or podcast. And I go, look, dude, it's a phone call. That's all it is. And people happen to be listening in on it. And you're interesting to me. So as long as you don't clam up and get the yips, I'll hold your hand through the whole damn thing. I want to know how you got involved in this racket. All right. By the way, ImpactPowerSportsMI.com. Kuiper Tree Care. If you got a tree that's down, reach out to them. KuiperTreeCare.com. Aaron S. took advantage of their services recently. They got rid of a nuisance tree, and they can do the same for you. If you've got a nuisance tree on the property, it's kind of like, oh, okay, this thing's just too big. We need to go back to a smaller tree, get rid of the old one, put a new one in the ground, and away you go. Kuiper Tree Care can help. Kuiper, KuiperTreeCare.com. Storm blows through, you got storm damage, that's who you call. KuiperTreeCare.com. Call or text 616-828-8225. That is 616-828-8225. Very proud of this latest sponsor, Merchant Automotive in Zeeland, Michigan. If you drive a diesel truck with a Duramax engine or an Allison transmission, and while you're repairing it, you get in the weeds, or maybe you're like, I'm not going to try to tackle this job, or you just need regular maintenance to it, you take it to Merchant Automotive, specializing in Duramax engines and Allison transmissions. In addition to that great service, which if you're in West Michigan, you can take advantage of, if you are anywhere in the world, you can shop online at merchant-automotive.com. They sell fabricated kits that they make themselves that can improve and will improve the performance of your diesel vehicle. You can find out more information at merchant-automotive.com. So that's for a lot of the folks who do the DIY stuff. DIY. And can improve the performance of your vehicle. Merchant-automotive.com. Thank you, Eric Merchant, driver of the 66 limited late model car at Berlin Raceway. That is my time for the first half of this show. I'm off to the radio station staff meeting. I'll be back with the second half when it concludes. You might not get a notification on Twitch